What's up guys, it's Jack with Two Furs Angling here, getting you guys started with the first video in the Fish to Fly series. Today we're tying up a Wolly Bugger, which is a staple in most people's fly box, and for a good reason. It catches fish just about anywhere. So the first thing I'm doing here is tying in the first piece of marabou, and I just wrap forward so that way it's a nice smooth taper to the body. You don't have a big clump at the back. Cut that off. And then I just want to tie in that little bit of marabou underneath the cone, make sure that I've got everything secured down and that it's an even body. Now I've got my second color of marabou, which is light olive. It's a little bit more green and a little bit darker, so that way it's a nice two-tone color to it. Same thing, just going to snip it so that way it all hides up underneath that cone and even out that body. When I tie in my marabou, you want the marabou to be about the same length as your body, the actual shank of the hook. Now I'm just tying in 2 strands of lime crystal flash. Split it in half here and do 2 strands on one side and 2 strands on the other. The reason why I do it this way rather than just tying in 2 strands that I cut down the middle is that this way it can't pull out. Snip those at the same length as the tail. Now I'm going to grab my olive and black variegated chenille. Tie that in. Now I'm going to grab a piece of grizzly hackle. Make sure and measure it up so that way I like the length of it. It's not too long, not too short. Here I am stripping the back section of it to the length that I want for a total length, so that way I'm not tying off at the end. I'm going to slide it back so that way I've got a little bit of exposed tip at the end, so that way I can tie it in without trapping any of the fibers down. Get my thread back to the back. Tie in. Now I'm going to wrap my chenille as tightly together as I can. Make a nice, smooth, even body. I'm going to wrap my thread around it and then tie in front as well. Cut your chenille. Make my wraps here. Make sure and stroke back the fibers every time so that way I'm not trapping anything. I like to do 2 wraps at the front up underneath the cone, and then the same way that I tied off the chenille, wrapping around the back side and then wrapping around the front as well. Snip that. And then here I'm going to do a whip finish with my fingers. Just take my 2 fingers, create a triangle with it and the thread, and then just wrap it around. You can also use a whip finish tool if you're not familiar with how to use your hand. Thanks so much guys for watching. All the material used today was purchased at Puget Sound Fly Company. If you'd like to contact them, you can call them at 253-472-2420. They're a great local shop here in Tacoma, Washington, and they do an amazing job. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment on the video down below. New videos every week. Next week, we're going to do a variation of the Wolly Bugger that's a little bit more like a stonefly bugger. That's a great pattern if you want to nymph it, or you can cast and strip.